Hey, welcome back to Life on the Wrist. Hope you're doing well. Today I thought we would discuss the top 5 watches that I've seen from Baselworld so far. Being that it's Baselworld season, I thought we would talk about some of the watches that I've seen that have been released. I've seen a lot of really cool things come out of these watch houses, a lot of things that perhaps are not my taste, but these are 5 watches that I think are really big releases from these companies and have gotten me really excited about what's to come for the future of these watch companies. But before I get into that, I wanted to remind everyone that I am doing a watch giveaway. This is a Hodinkee edition Swatch System 51. It's completely new. It comes in the box. It still has the plastic on the watch face and also the back of the watch. I only opened it just to take pictures of the watch, so it's really easy to enter into this giveaway. I'll put the link into the description of the video where we talk about how to enter in order to win this watch. It's really simple. You just are going to end up subscribing to our YouTube channel, liking our Instagram page, liking us on Facebook, commenting on a few things, and you're entered. We started the giveaway at the beginning of this month, so we will do the drawing at the beginning of next month, probably around the 4th or the 5th, so make sure you enter into the giveaway in order to win this watch, and I look forward to seeing who ends up with a really cool System 51. So back to the topic at hand, we are going to go over 5 watches that I think are really cool releases from Baselworld 2019. This is of course my opinion, and it's only in the few first days that I've seen these items. So the first watch comes from Seiko, or Grand Seiko. It's their 20th anniversary of the Spring Drive. They've released 2 new watches. The Spring Drive movement was launched in 1999, and this is obviously marking their 20th anniversary of that movement. And it's a huge the Spring Drive movement has a huge significance to watch history. So they've released 2 new pieces. They're both manual wind Spring Drive movements. The first is in 18 karat gold. It has a snowflake dial, and it's really beautiful, simple, classic watch from Grand Seiko. That watch goes for over 27,000 euros. I think it's a great dress watch, something that you could probably wear every day, if I'm completely honest. If that's kind of your aesthetic of wearing something a little bit more classic, definitely something you can consider. And the second one is a steel case, and it has almost like a sun ray dial. This one is actually limited to 700 pieces and is 8,200 euros. Again, super wearable. I think the case is like 38.5 millimeters. Super wearable. If that's your aesthetic, like it could totally be an everyday watch for you. It comes on a crocodile leather strap, so you can mix and match your straps if that's your taste. But again, like, props to Grand Seiko for releasing something so classic and beautiful. And I think it's a great way to mark their 20th anniversary of their Spring Drive movement. The second watch is from a smaller company, but they pack a huge punch with this one, and it's not something that I think is being sold right now. It's a concept, but it's from Moser, who is a controversial watch company in itself, but they have come out with their first round minute repeater watch. It has a 1-minute flying tourbillon. The case is 43 millimeters. It's part of their it's called the Endeavour concept minute repeater. I absolutely love minute repeater movements. I know that the minute repeater is probably one of the hardest watch movements to make. You have to have worked on watches for a very long time in order to get to the point where you can start working on minute repeaters. I think it goes minute repeater, then chronograph, and then continues from there. But really cool, beautiful movement, beautifully finished by Moser. And I love the fact that the minute repeater is actually on the dial, so you can see the hammers hitting the side of the case to tell your time. They had released a minute repeater previously, which was in a rectangle case, and like I said, they're kind of a controversial company. The rectangle minute repeater that they came out with didn't even have hands, so you had to rely solely on the sound of the minute repeater in order to tell the time of the watch. I think this is one of the coolest releases by any watch company. This is probably my #1 release for Baselworld 2019. It's really cool that you have to use a different sense other than your sight in order to tell time. And I love the dials that Moser comes out with are absolutely beautiful. So definitely up there for one of the best releases of Baselworld 2019. The third watch is from Bulgari. It's their Octo Finissimo skeleton ceramic. I love ceramic cases. I think they're very different. If you haven't noticed, my taste is a little bit not so mainstream. So ceramic cases are not something you see every day. The Octo Finissimo is obviously 40 millimeters. It's 5.5 millimeters thin, so it's one of the thinnest. I believe it is the thinnest automatic movement from any watch company right now. This watch is in black ceramic. It has their in-house BVL 138 movement. It has 60 hours of power reserve. There isn't a price yet for this watch, but definitely something to keep your eye on. I think it's it was released at Baselworld 2018, the Octo Finissimo, or 2017. I think it's one of the coolest watches to come out. It's definitely not everyone's taste, because you have to have, in my opinion, you have to have a little bit bigger wrists in order to wear it, being that it's 40 millimeters. Also because it's quite sporty, you know, it's not your typical round case, so your wrist, it has to fit your wrist really, unless you know, you just don't really care about that. Really, really cool that it's in ceramic. It's also a skeleton, so you can see the movement inside, which again attaches you to that watch, which can make you end up researching things a lot more, and creates a really cool story about, you know, how you got into watches from that. So really, really awesome watch that was released at Baselworld 2019. The next watch, the fourth watch, is the Rolex GMT Master 2. It's the reference 126719. I think this is one of the coolest releases from Rolex to date. It has a Meterorite dial, which, let me give you all the specs first, then I'll go into why I think this is one of the coolest things. So it's a white gold case. Like I said, it's a Meterorite dial. It's on an oyster bracelet. And the reason why I like this watch is because it's different. I don't think Rolex really comes out with things that are, you know, not their typical Submariner, date, date. Most of the times they just kind of play with the case size, and that's about it. Or the dial color. But I think this year Rolex actually kind of took like a step forward. I know there was a day that came out with like a green dial, which was really cool. But this one has a Meteorite dial, and I like this because everyone can have, there are so many GMT Master 2s out there, but this would really make you stand apart from the other people. When you're collecting something, you want to have something different than the person next to you, or the person who you're talking to about watches. And this GMT Master 2 will definitely allow you to be completely different than the person who has an average GMT Master 2. These are obviously modern watches. If you have a vintage GMT Master 2, that's another completely different watch you could have, because they patina it in different ways. But I think this is a great way to differentiate your collection from someone else who has a GMT Master 2. The GMT Master 2 retails for 36,600 Swiss francs. It's a pricey way to have a different type of collection, but at the same time, if you love GMT Master 2s, you love Rolexes, you might as well pull the trigger on it. And the last watch is the Patek Philippe 5231J. It's the world time that Patek Philippe released. The previous version of this watch was the reference 5131. The Patek Philippe World Time is a grail to so many people, and it's such a classic, beautifully executed watch, and something that, you know, Patek Philippe's have this romance to them, I feel, and this is a perfect execution of just that. It's 38.5 millimeters. It has a cloisonné enamel dial, beautiful execution with this hand-finished map of the world, basically on the center of the dial. It has a new case design, which is what differentiates it from the previous version. The previous version will continue to be sold, but that version only comes on a bracelet. This comes on a leather strap. And yeah, again, this is just a beautiful piece from Patek Philippe, and something that really makes them stand out compared to other watch companies. A beautiful dress watch that you can have, and something that I know a lot of people desire. This watch retails for 65,000 Swiss francs. Just as a comparison, the previous version, which will still be produced, comes on a, like I said, a bracelet, and that one is, I think, a little bit over 100,000 Swiss francs. So decent price point to get into world time watches. So those are 5 watches that I really liked. Again, it's the Grand Seiko 20th anniversary of the Spring Drive, the Moser, Endeavour Concept Minute Repeater, the Bulgari Octo Finissimo Skeleton Ceramic, the Rolex GMT Master 2, and the Patek Philippe World Time Reference 5231J. I'd love to know what you guys think about Baselworld 2019 so far. We're going to create a lot more videos discussing the watches that have been released at Baselworld 2019. There's a lot of things that have come out that I like, a lot of things I perhaps, not my favorite. Let me know what's your 5 favorite watches from Baselworld 2019 are in the comments, and I hope you guys have a nice rest of your day.